want us to be. Want us to be. They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. What about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So what about the slavery days? Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. They want us to be. So they want us to be. They know that I know, and I know that they know.
It's another day, another morning, people. Thank you so very kindly, man, that you join us. Let's talk about it. Kings 88.5 on this 20th day of August 2026. We are transmitting from Baptist Seminary ABC Community Painesville. A great day, good day. Thank you so very much that you join us. I'm Sam Andrews, sitting in for Israel Bowiatsie, who isn't in this morning, will be available next tomorrow, Friday. Until then, let's have a wonderful info time.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. So they want us to be. So they want us to be. They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days. So what about the slavery days? So just to feel stupid. That's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. So they want us to think stupid. So they want us to feel stupid. That's what they want us to do.
Oh, yes, another day, another time, another opportunity. They want us to make us feel stupid. They want us to feel afraid. They want us to be just everything jittering. But we aren't. We can. Another day, people. Thank you, man. Israel isn't in this morning. He will be in on tomorrow. So we have to flow on. Good day it is. Yeah. Liberia, a mystery country. The Unity Party government is unleashing its power, its might, its authority. So we go straight into what we've got. You're already aware of the event. You already know exactly what it is, the atmosphere. It stands in Liberia. The goal of the government is to shift this whole cooking stuff. Remember now, they said from the onset that there are senior officials of the CDC government and partly of Unity Party government. They brought few individuals, lower level individuals, did the shenanigan as quickly as they can. And then what happened? President Bouaga announced suspension, and then it's just that way. So you are aware yesterday they pick up the former vice president who is currently in jail. She was about to or heading for a women's conference in Ghana, and she was arrested. She was harassed, intimidated, put at gunpoint. That news is in Ghana now, that Liberia former vice president, while on her way for a conference here, was arrested at Liberia's airport, allegedly for drug, cocaine. That news has spread far and wide in Ghana. Ghanaian media outlets are reporting it. The organizers of the conference too, they are now reordering priority. What that means in political and general term is you have to make adjustments. The vice president won't be there, so they are sorting out trying to get another person suitable like her to fill that void, since she's undergoing investigation. Is being reported, or Ghanaian media institutions are reporting it, that the former vice president under the CDC government is jailed, allegedly for drug trafficking, violation, aiding and abetting, and all of those. So that it's what it is. In Ghana, the news has gone far and wide, not only in Ghana, but it is across the globe. Please share the show as many times as you can. We are in a turbulent time. We are in a very terrible time. We're in the time of Daniel chapter 3 verse 6. We're in the time of Revelation chapter 3 verse 13, 16, chapter 13, 16 and 17. Please share the show. We are in terrible time. The people out of this country must know what is happening. They cannot know if you are not sharing the show. When you share it, they get to know. But if you aren't sharing the show, they will not know what is happening. What the government reports is what they will believe. They have to believe our voice. They have to hear us. They have to know what is unfolding. The government will polish it as they want to polish it. They will not tell the people the truth. We, on the other side of the political divide, on the obligation to tell the people the truth. And you are our partners in progress. You can do that by sharing the show as many times around the world as you can. So the news is in Ghana. I was listening to one of the stations in Ghana this morning when Israel called me to say that he's unable because he's down. He's under the weather. So I had to rumble as quickly as can, putting my bits and pieces together to move in and sit in, because that's what it is institutionally. And the guy was reporting, and he was reporting like a shock, because they too had reported prior to the arrest of the guests, the panelists that were going into Ghana for this high-profile women conference. And then suddenly they started to hear a report of an arrest of one of the panelists from Liberia, the former vice president, Joe Howard Taylor. And they too, according to him, they did not believe it outright, because just as our country is, their country faced the same thing too, sentimental reports, online media reporting. So they did not take it outright, but they started to do some checks, and then speaking to people back home in Liberia that they have contact with some of the journalists here. And according to him, they confirmed, yes, that the former vice president was arrested at the airport. She was taken to the police headquarters, and she's currently in jail at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, that she will be sent to court today, and she will be taken to Sub Beach, where all of President Joseph Yuma Bouaka political prisoners are. So you are aware. So this morning, what I want to do is to focus on the communication that came from the leading opposition political leader in Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manning Weah. But before then, many people had been condemning and criticizing that former President Weah is weak, the opposition is weak, that he lives in this character of a peacemaker, does not want chaos, does not want instability, does not want insecurity. Based on that, the leading opposition, he is weak. And then they will go to the extent of attributing that also to the rest of the opposition political parties, that they are weak, they are not speaking out, and a lot more. I have explained repeatedly what an opposition leader is and what you expect, or why you're not saying what people consider oppositioning in the past and not seeing it in the present. In the past, or this country has always understood opposition to mean chaos, instability, riot, deaths, injuries, disruption of normal activities, people shutting down their businesses, their stores, people are returning home just when they are approaching the office, and you name it, just as it was yesterday when Unity Party was in power. That's what they consider opposition. So most of the people, because they are not saying any one of those things happening, they say that the opposition is weak. George Weah is weak. Here's another thing that you need to know. George Weah can cause instability in this country in a twinkling of an eye. But what will it profit George Weah? George Weah is a citizen of this country. George Weah has families in this country. George Weah has investments in this country. George Weah owes it to this country as a stakeholder. It would take George Weah nothing as the political leader of the Congress of Democratic Change to cause instability. But what will it profit George Weah? Well, if that's what Unity Party people want, no, you will not see that. But there are several options available to an opposition political leader. It doesn't have to be chaos. It doesn't have to be instability. It doesn't have to be protest. It doesn't have to be creating, manufacturing dead body and putting it on the street. It doesn't have to be lying on the president that he has murdered XYZ people. It doesn't have to be all of those things. No, there are several options available to any and every opposition leader. By nature, George Weah is not destructive, because if you are rallying people and telling them to get on the street, you are saying, one, you don't care for the lives of those people. They should get out. If they get injured, if they get killed, if they get arrested, whatever happened to them, they will have to bear it. People who organize protests, people who leaders that organize protests, this is what they don't really take into consideration: the survival, the safety, the stability, and the continual existence of the people. They use the people to accomplish their aims. And that is exactly why Unity Party is in power today. They use people to get to the street. Some people died. Some people got injured. Some people living with that psychological scar today, meaning that they live with it in mind. They have marks on them that every time they look at it, they think and say, if I had known, I wouldn't have gotten in this protest. Yesterday, when the CDC government was telling them that, look, you don't have to do this. There are other options by which you can use to speak to your government. Unity Party people said, no, we will protest. And all of you know, many times when Mo Allen came out, Heron Costa, the rest of the opposition people encouraging the people to get in the street. And they suffer. What they suffer. They want George Weah to do that. George Weah is not that person. Please know it today. But George Weah, it would take George Weah nothing to rally. George Weah can make this place ungovernable. George Weah can make the security sector work overtime. George Weah can call the international community attention onto Liberia, given what is happening in a twinkling of an eye. But that is not George Weah's nature. George Weah had been channeling his grievances from the one through the appropriate means. So you can go on and insult George Weah. You can call him weakling. You can call him unserious man. You can call him all kinds of things. But personally, I don't think that George Weah, the leading political leader of the opposition, should take people to the streets. No opposition leader had ever profited from that. At the end of the day, it will haunt you. Even you people who are supporters of George Weah, some of you get jaded at times because you are uncomfortable, you are vexed with what is unfolding with this government. So you want an immediate action. Ironically, you wouldn't be willing to get there if George Weah calls a protest today. You wouldn't be. Why? Many people would not, because they are concerned about their safety, their survivability. They are afraid to get injured, and a lot more. Now, George Weah would not put anybody in an embarrassing situation. The best mentor of solving problem is not violence. It's not chaos. It's not getting people in the street. It's dialogue. The most sophisticated weapon that you can use to defeat your opponent is dialogue. The weapons have never succeeded since God created war. Chaos have never succeeded. Instability have never succeeded. Insecurity have never succeeded. What has succeeded since God created the war till now is dialogue. It won't come on a silver platter. It wouldn't work immediately, but it works. Dialogue. George Weah is that dialoguing person. George Weah is that dialoguing person. Say all manner of things you can say of him awfully. Call him all kinds of names. Degrade him whichever way. Categorize him. Whichever way you can categorize him. Vilify him. Call him all manner of names. It means nothing. As long as you want George Weah to cause chaos in the country, and when the situation goes haywire, you will be the same person that said, but George Weah knew why he didn't sit down and think. This mayor had always wanted to cause chaos. Now, you will be the same person lambasting George Weah. The opposition can do everything that Unity Party did in opposition. President Joseph Yema Boakai is not infinite. He's not almighty. Everything they did, they can do it today. Like the people can say, Dana one woman born rucha. Meaning, you don't have to go to school to learn rudeness. You only need to put it on and get it into action. But there is the consequences. Every action, every decision is costly. And not looking at it that way, there where people come in sentimentally and say you're weak. So because they want to see George Weah getting in the street or telling the people you get out, you block this road, you burn tires, stifle the movement of people here and there, that you have businesses being shut down, people running, and you hear people say, oh, war coming, war coming, war coming, war coming. Just what Unity Party was doing. They will cause instability here. They will tell people to do this. More Ali telling the people, go on as Heron Costa, say, you go, you put this person here, you block the road. And then we heard the people, oh, war coming, oh, the people coming for, oh, people running here and there, people taking the market, running, some people getting hurt. If that's what people want George Weah to do, it will not. George Weah is engaging. An opposition political leader is not a chaotic person. No, it's a dialoguing person. Again, no weapon is sophisticated as dialogue. It may look stupid from the onset, but it works. Nobody should underestimate the power of dialogue. And nobody should take George Weah's weakness for stupidity. Nobody. And this goes to you, Unity Party people. And your president, Joseph Yema Boakai, and the rest of the people. Nobody should take George Weah leniency for stupidity. George Weah is not weak. When you push a person who is opting for dialogue, you continue to push the person and think that the person is stupid and you are strong. When that person turns, God in heaven himself comes on that person's side to help him react against you. George Weah is not weak. George Weah is not weak. So if you think that George Weah is weak, you can say all manner of things you want to say. Boakai himself knows that George Weah is not a weakling. It's just the matter or that everyone in the small political space has to operate in a peaceful way. The opposition here can prevent President Bouaka from leaving his rehab residence, just as they were doing to George Weah. Why would it take people? George Weah have people all over this place, radicals, men, women, that can face up, create a scene that President Bouaka will not leave a rehab residence, will just be inside there just as they were doing to George Weah. Who told you that the leader himself can get up? George Weah has men. There are men, brave men that are loyal to George Weah. Brave men. So if Unity Party people think that they're strong, you know what can fool government? When you get a gun. You think that, oh, gun does not solve a problem. Gun only puts your government in an embarrassing position. Gun. It puts your government in an embarrassing position. The international community looks at it and grade you as intolerant, dictator. They start withholding support from you. So George Weah is not a weakling. CDC is not a weak party. The rest of the opposition political parties, CNC, ANC, MPC, they are not weak. These guys are talking. All of the people, supporters, non-supporters, pro-government supporters, pro-government journalists. You can say, George, we are weak. You can say the opposition weak. Yes. I think they take it as a compliment as long as they are keeping this country peaceful. It is because of the weakness of the leading opposition leader, George Weah, and the rest of his colleagues, that you can wake up sound in the morning and go to your business center without worrying that there will be a protest. You can go to your office without worrying or thinking about protest. That you can decide to process and move to the airport without thinking there'll be a protest. That you can do anything without thinking there will be a protest. Yesterday, the people going to bed, they will worry. When the morning start, good with us. And then when they get in the morning, they hear me a protest. People staying home. People taking their children from school campuses. Parents saying, no, I'm not sending my children to school because there will be a protest. Today, you're not thinking of protest. You have a unique atmosphere. And I maintain, as I always said, it is not President Bouaka that is keeping this country peaceful. It is the opposition. President Bouaka is on record for creating instability against the CDC or in the CDC government when he was in opposition. Everything that was happening, President Bouaka endorsed it. He wanted it because he felt that that was the means by which he could get power. Is it not unto the opposition today to do it? President Bouaka knows. He knows that he's not the one who is keeping the peace, the stability, security of this country. It's the opposition leader in George Weah. Because George Weah is not the payback character. If George Weah was the payback character, it would take him no time. And you will see international community, international partners calling for dialogue, calling for meeting. You know how many times, President, we are called for a dialogue with the opposition to slow down, to stop what they were doing. Most of these Unity Party people in government today, they know. Most of them refuse to attend the meeting. Every time, President, we are called meeting so that they will stop the protest, the instigation, the instability, the chaos. They said no. And all of us know. You know that very well. You think today they can? You think the opposition can? But what will a Prophet George we are? What a perfect judge we are? A perfect judge we are? Nothing. Yesterday, they were all over the place. They created instability. They created chaos. They had this place ungovernable, meaning you could not move normally. You were living in fear. You did not go to bed normally. You went to bed attempting to sleep and keeping awake. You were keeping watch in sleep while you wanted to sleep. You were keeping watch in sleep while you wanted to sleep. What they call between sleep and wake. You want sleep, but at the same time, you have this fear that something might happen, so you're keeping watch. That's instability right there within yourself. You're not normal because they created abnormality. You want to ask yourself, since President Bouaka came to power, what have we seen from the opposition, apart from Molba Molu organization called Solidarity and Trust for a New Day Stand, which is not a political party? Did you ever see a political party outside? Did you ever hear the political party coming together and calling a protest? No. You think they can do it? They can. They can. Yesterday, there was instability. That is why their conscience is not clear today. They're doing all of these things because they are afraid. They are guilty of what they did, that they don't want it to happen to them. Yesterday, there were protests all over this place. That is why they say, oh, when a unity party, by now, unity party in charge. And they consider that a propaganda. It is never a propaganda. Unity Party was not propagandistic. Unity Party was destructive. Unity Party led people by their protests to get injured. People die, businesses shut down. All kinds of things were happening all over this place, and they justified.
Once again, a very warm welcome to the program. This is the Morning Call. I am Nyasha K. Mutizwa. Now, we kick off the show in Liberia. In office for just 2 years, Liberians are growing increasingly impatient with President George Weah. A struggling economy, rising food prices, and corruption accusations have stirred anger and discontent against Weah, who campaigned on a promise of delivering pro-poor policies. There have been several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today of delivering pro-poor policies. There have been several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today for policies. There have been several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today for policies. There have been several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today. Been several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today. Been several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today. Several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today. And several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today. And several protests against Weah's rule, another major demonstration is planned for later today. And several protests against Weah's rule, and another major demonstration is planned for later today. The United Nations and ECOWAS have urged the opposition to call off this rally. Rushan is planned for later today. The United Nations and ECOWAS have urged the opposition to call off this rally. Nations and ECOWAS have urged the opposition to call off this rally route. The United Nations and ECOWAS have urged the opposition to call off this rally route. The United Nations and ECOWAS have urged the opposition to call off this rally route.
They were protesting. There was, listen, Chief, you ain't understand. When you hear this whole thing, this expression, this cliche, ungovernable, you think it's about overthrowing. Ungovernability simply means the atmosphere is not normal. Ungovernability, if there is confusion in the house between the wife and the husband, that house is ungovernable. If there is a misunderstanding between the daughter and the son, the house is ungovernable. There is insecurity, there is instability. Confusion between two or more persons that's ungovernability. Confusion between two persons in the community, that's ungovernability, because stability is not there. So don't understand the expression only for going on president or doing something else. No, it simply means there is no control whatsoever, or fear has overtaken, lack of understanding. Yesterday, President George Weah did not have it his way. Many days, George Weah worried. Many days, he called meetings. George Weah would leave this country. He was worried that if there would not be a coup because of what Unity Party was doing. You heard the foreign lady reporting. There have been series of protests against the Weah regime, and one is planned for today. The international community, regional body, this international community, they spoke to Unity Party people. President Joseph Yeman Boakai in opposition then as the leader. All of these people, they spoke, and President Boakai did not pay any attention. He sanctioned the people. The protests all over the place. You heard the lady say that ECOWAS and the United Nations prevail on, meaning they say, oh, we beg you. You don't make this country ungovernable. Your country is already small. Your country isn't developed. Whatever the issue that you have against George Weah as the president, you people can find a way to dialogue it out and not to create instability, not to make the country ungovernable, because you will scare investors away. It wasn't anything of a hearing for President Boakai. I am telling you why today. You think that President Boakai is the one who is keeping this country peaceful. He isn't. Look at Unity Party in the past and ask or research whether you will see a single line, a single statement from President Boakai when those guys were acting to say, you're stop. You're stop. We are opposition. We'll likely have our chance. And we will not want these things to happen. Nothing. Everything President Boakai. In fact, President Boakai was more condemning devilishly of George Weah. That today, President Boakai is still living with that grudge against George Weah. But it's up to him. The Bible says, bless them that curse you. Pray for them that despitefully use you. Do good to them that render you evil. That is why when President Boakai was just 2 or 3 inches from the grave, George Weah came and said, I will take you to hospital. Just as the Good Samaritan took the man from the ground and took him to the hospital and took responsibility for his financial bill and said, any other charge, put it on me. What George Weah did. George Weah is not weak. George Weah is not a weak person. It would take George Weah nothing to rally people in this country. George Weah can call protests in the twinkling of an eye. President Boakai, they will find place to put President Boakai. They will carry him out of time to be there because the pressure. Does President Boakai look at somebody that can stay in tension? Already he has aged. Normally, when you pass 50, 60, you in your 70s, you want to avoid tension because your age is a tension by itself. So situational tension cannot add on. That's when you see some people in that situation, they'll go up. And then when they recover, they advise them to be in quietude. Because the tension, you have your own body tension called the psychology. Then you have the atmospheric tension on you. President, don't go through normal life. They wish for normal life in their governance. Who told you that President Boakai is having it an easy way? No, he isn't. He knows that some of these decisions that have been taken, they are not right. But he's been cornered, he's been pressured. But that is not the issue for today. That will be another one. I'm telling you why George Weah, you can curse George Weah. You can say George Weah is weak. You can say George Weah is not a serious man. You can say all manner of things against George Weah. That era, the time of George Weah being disgruntled or reacting or being aggressive passed. George Weah told you on the football field that something that happened with him and that Italian guy. When he got punished from that day, nobody told him to control himself. Nobody told him to control his anger. Nobody told him to do anything. He learned it for himself. And that's how you move in life. God allows certain things to happen. George Weah will not put anybody, daughter or son, anybody, father, anybody, mother at risk. If that what Unity Party won as they were protesting all over this place, George Weah will not do it. There are options, multiple, hundreds of thousands of options available to the opposition. And look at the composition of this opposition. And look at the composition of Unity Party opposition. Compare the two, you will see responsiveness, intelligence, futuristic thinking, as opposed to or Unity Party on that was destructive. Look at Unity Party in opposition. Are they talking anything nationalistic? Everything was against or against. So much so that one of their leading supporters in Fadiga came out publicly to say George Weah should die. That George Weah should die in plain. Fadiga. President Bouakai never ever had the guts. Yesterday they could say anything, they could wish anybody's death. And they called that opposition. Fadiga came out and said that George Weah should die in plane crash. That he wished he could turn to a snake and then burn George Weah to die. And I wish that would go to his family. And that is why his conscience is not serving him clear today. Today he came out with that perfunctory stuff and said he apologizing. George Weah would never react to any one of these people, not even Bouakai. So you can call George Weah all kinds of things, you can insult him, you can wish George Weah death. George Weah will not control and your parole. George Weah will not control. No. What you want George Weah to do, George Weah will not do it because George Weah does not move at the whims and caprice of people. George Weah is independent. He's above 18. He can think rationally. He can make rational decisions. George Weah is a stakeholder of this country. He is the protector or one of the protectors of Liberia's democracy, Liberia's peace, Liberia's stability, Liberia's security. George Weah will do nothing to put anybody in harm's way. George Weah will rally nobody in this country to do anything that people will get hurt, people will get injured, people will die, people will be rushed to hospital. If that's what Unity Party want, they will not see it from George Weah. So you can call George Weah weak. You can get on all of your radio stations and say the opposition weak. The opposition weak as long as the opposition is helping to keep this country peaceful. The opposition weak, we take it as a compliment as long as it can allow Joseph Yema Bouakai to reign peacefully, to go home and sleep sound and wake up sound and not hearing protests, not hearing all kinds of stuff as he was supporting yesterday. Consider that weak. There is positivity in weakness because that positivity is what keeping this country peaceful. You in your car going to work. Yesterday you were worrying. You get a telephone call and say, oh, the people protesting around the FE area, oh, the people block the road. Yesterday, you yet say they will call you and say, Mama, you had to come out. Mama, the people fighting on the side. All kinds of stuff. Say all manner of things you want to say. Yesterday, you're protesting. You say it was your constitutional right. You think the opposition can? President Bouakai is already old. President Bouakai is of age. Look at President Bouakai. That man looked like somebody that can withstand tension. That man that has been propped up medically. They're trying the best they can, stuffing him with all kinds of stuff medically. So at least he can keep on going. Bouaka does not need pressure. The presidency goes with pressure. You hardly rest. It is because of George Weah and the rest of the opposition members, Simeon Freeman, Alexander Cummings, Musa Belete, and the rest of the people that President Bouaka can sleep sound. President Bouaka officials can sleep sound. They can wake up. They're parading all over the place. They are comfortable. They are saying all manner of things. It's because the opposition today is responsible. It's refined. It's intelligent. Above all, it is futuristic. They are looking at the future. What will it profit them to tell people to get in the streets and people are dying, people getting injured, people being rushed to hospital, people being put in jail? What they will get from that? Nothing, absolutely. Has protest profited anybody? No. Has protest profited any political leader around the world? No. Protest only places a dent on your future ambition. It creates instability for you because when you start moving here and there, people tend to avoid you as a person, as a leader. They see you as a chaotic character. So George Weah will not, please. He will not call George Weah all kinds of names. He weak, he this and that. The former justice minister, the former vice president is at the police headquarters. The police said she has been charged and she will move to court. They will take her to court today. Before I get to President Weah's letter, let me read for you her pastor. She is a member of the Restoration Baptist Ministries, and her pastor is Bishop Joseph Gadier Johnson III. Yesterday, when he heard the news, again, he urged CAM that the law should take its course, not that he was insinuating that she's guilty, but that should follow the pattern, meaning nobody should cause any chaos, nobody should say anything, especially members of the church. And that was good of the pastor. Today, he came out with something, a position statement. Then we get to Sando Johnson. Then we read President Weah's statement. Then you can have your say. Again, Israel isn't in today. You're not seeing Israel because he's under the weather, but not very serious. He will be around tomorrow for the weekend's edition. So we have to sit in for him. Please share the show as many times as you can. Share the show, please.
Several thousand Liberians took to the streets of Monrovia to denounce corruption and rising prices. Tensions had risen in recent weeks after the government said it would not allow any protests before the end of January.
Did you hear it? Defiance. The government said we're not allowed any protests. They defy. Today, they're saying the same thing. You see why sometimes God can move from beyond people? Because the people said, oh, my man, allow the people. That's it, right? You said no. But yesterday, you said you should get in the street. Listen to the Al Jazeera reporter. We have millions of Unity Party opposition. The reason you're not hearing some things from President Bouaka, his clips, because we're getting closer. It's too early to start playing. In 2027, you start hearing some damning thing from these Unity Party people. You start hearing some serious clips. And they say they know propaganda. We're getting ready for the propaganda. We just push it to the public. Let them listen for themselves. Let them hear.
Several thousand Liberians took to the streets of Monrovia to denounce corruption and rising prices. Tensions had risen in recent weeks after the government said it would not allow any protests before the end of January. It finally changed its mind on Sunday.
You see how tolerant the government was after the government said that Al Jazeera reporter, he said the government said it would not accept protests. Then he came back to say the government changed its mind. Change its mind. Meaning that you're right. You're good. We'll protect you. Today, President Bouaka said no. A government that is intolerant of freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of association is a tyrant regime, dictator, no different from Nebuchadnezzar.
Several thousand Liberians took to the streets of Monrovia to denounce corruption and rising prices. Tensions had risen in recent weeks after the government said it would not allow any protests before the end of January. It finally changed its mind on Sunday. Opposition group Patriots had vowed to defy the ban. Some protesters brought a mattress saying they would sleep in the government headquarters. Police later fired tear gas to disperse demonstrators. Inflation is soaring and civil servants regularly go unpaid. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. Weah had already faced similar protests in June and July. The former football star who played for Paris Saint-Germain and AC Milan easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. AC Milan easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. Easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. Easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. Easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. Easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. Easily won the second round of the presidential election 2 years ago. But since then, he has disappointed many Liberians, including those who voted for him.
So here is the communication. I have it from Bishop Joseph Gadier Johnson. Restoration Baptist Ministry is the church of the former Vice President, Joel Howard Taylor. Our position on illicit drugs accountability and pastoral care. Restoration Baptist Ministries makes its position absolutely clear. We stand firmly and unequivocally against illicit drugs and substance abuse. This is not a position we have recently adopted, nor is it one we take selectively. We have demonstrated our commitment through action by establishing and operating a free rehabilitation center for young people struggling with drug abuse, contributing to and participating in protests against substance abuse, and consistently speaking out against the devastating impact of illicit drugs on individuals, families, churches, and our communities. Our fight against illicit drugs will remain strong, unwavering, uncompromising, and non-negotiable, regardless of who is involved. That includes members of our own family, our church, our friends, and our community, or anyone else. No one should be shielded. No one should be protected. No one should be above accountability. No one should be allowed to use position, influence, relationships, wealth, political connection, religious standing, or family ties as a shield against justice. We can win this fight with a compromised security institution. If we are serious about winning the war against illicit drugs, then we must be prepared to confront the problem where it exists and whoever is involved. We cannot condemn drug abuse when it involves our opponents and remain silent when it involves people within our own cycles. That will make our fight hypocritical and undermine the very principles we claim to defend. And let us be clear, it is too late now for anyone to try to change the narrative. We know a lot. We have seen a lot. We have listened to a lot. We have heard from people on different sides. And we now understand far more than some may think. The facts surrounding the facts, the circumstances, and experiences shared with us cannot simply be erased, rewritten, and conveniently reshaped to fit a different narrative. The threatening message. The threatening message I received in my inbox last night and the attempt to compromise my WhatsApp account will not stop me from providing pastoral care to all those under my care. I have the evidence of the threat as well as the recording documenting the attempt to compromise my WhatsApp account. The former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, her pastor, saying this, that he received threatening messages. Please listen again. The threatening message I received in my inbox last night and the attempt to compromise my WhatsApp account will not stop me from providing pastoral care to all those under my care. I have the evidence of the threat as well as the recording documenting the attempt to compromise my WhatsApp account. I will continue to give former VP Joel Howard Taylor pastoral care. I will continue to give former VP Taylor, Joel Howard Taylor, pastoral care. Even though I am not responsible for what each member of my congregation does, regardless of what any of them may have done, it does not erase the fact that I am their pastor. Very good. Very good. I love every member of my congregation, and I would never leave them nor forsake them. Very good. Unlike other people, oh yes, this man is a pastor for truth. That pastoral care will extend to everyone, good, bad, or even those considered evil. I was sent to outcasts of society, not to the perfect. My calling is to minister to people wherever they are, regardless of their past, their circumstances, or how society views them. Neither threats, intimidation, harassment, nor attempts to compromise my account will stop me from fulfilling that responsibility. So please, do not waste your time with threats. They will not intimidate me, silence me, or cause me to abandon those entrusted to my pastoral care. I will continue to do what I believe God has called me to do. The love, courage, conviction, and without fear. I stand for truth. I will stand for justice. I will stand against illicit drugs. I will stand with those who need help. And I will continue to pastor those God has entrusted to my care, regardless of who they are or what they have done. This is not just a position I speak about, it is a calling I live. The Vice President, Joel Howard Taylor. So the focus now shifts to this morning. She was already charged. They can't keep her at the police station all through. They said yesterday at the news conference, they will take her, she will be sent to court. And once she is in the custody of the court, the police got nothing to do with it. Then her next place is South Beach. President Walker can take as many politicians to South Beach. It's all right. He and his government think that they are doing the right thing. But no, President Walker has to have a second thought. The advisors are people who will always want their agenda. Do you know that advisors can use the president as surrogate to accomplish their aim, go after other people? Oh, Mr. President, oh, Mr. President. So Joel Howard Taylor is going to South Beach. Now listen, Jesus, probably you're not a bystander of jailing today. But Jesus went to jail. Anybody can go to jail. Jailhouse does not take anything from you. It only said that you went to jail for a cause. But when you are in the jail, stay with your conviction. Do not waver. And even if it calls you to evangelize in the jail, do it. Just like Martin Luther King said, if you get in a jail, bring out your faith. So the guys are ready to take her to court. So let's go to the letter, the communication, rather, the statement from former President George Weah. And then that will be doing it. Again, Israel isn't in. He's under the weather. So we have to sit in. He might be in tomorrow. Let's go to the communication from His Excellency. And please, let me say it this way. Let me be, for the moment, unruly, unprofessional, unbiased. But some people have to just put on good reasoning ability. People want George Weah to cut short his trip to come because Joy Howard Taylor in jail, as if it is a political stuff. It's a legal thing. George Weah trip was already arranged. Why in this country, when something happened, when Weah is out of the country, then they want George Weah to come? George Weah is not disorganized like President Boakai. The man already has his trip, everything planned. He's executing. Your United Party people, you say, oh, the man are this. Nobody can recognize the man. Nobody call the man. People call the man and the man doing it. Then you're vet. You say when they won't happen, the man will come back. When George Weah come back, you will walk to the police station or wherever you are, and pour also. What makes some people just stupid so when it comes to reasoning? Some people just big for nothing. Did he ever know that Joe Howard Taylor was going to be arrested on yesterday at that identical place and identical time? Did her pastor even know? Did any one of those people around know, apart from President Boakai and his people? Sometimes you just have to put on good reasoning. Statement, listen carefully. Statement by His Excellency George Manuel Weah, former president of the Republic of Liberia and political leader of the Congress for Democratic Change, August 19, 2026. Fellow Liberians, what we all witnessed today has further revealed the extent of our democratic decline in the last few years, marked by the continuous use of extrajudicial powers by President Joseph Boakai to trample upon the constitutional rights of Liberians who hold opposing views. As you may know by now, former Vice President Joy Howard Taylor has become the latest victim of these rising authoritarian tendencies, which have historically plunged societies, including ours, into chaos. While we support all legal and judicial efforts to rid Liberia of the current drug epidemic, we condemn attempts to use this crisis to score political points. Today, without any prior notice, the former vice president was unlawfully prevented from traveling in violation of her constitutional right to free movement and was subsequently harassed and detained. I have since spoken to the former vice president, who has vehemently, strenuously, and categorically denied all the politically motivated allegations being made against her by the Boakai administration. In a government statement today, the Justice Minister read out blanket accusations without providing any supporting explanation of how they were formulated. This action by the government comes after two major discoveries amounting to nearly $500 million, which officials themselves have admitted were brought into Liberia after we had peacefully handed over power to the Boakai administration. Rather than treating the investigation with the degree of diligence and urgency it deserves, the government has instead sought to fabricate and concoct connections to the Congress for Democratic Change administration, while giving a slap on the wrist to its own government and security officials, many of whom still roam the streets despite being named and accused as true perpetrators. We have continued, please listen, that's the conclusion. We have continued engagements with several regional and continental leaders to again reiterate and underscore to them how the rule of law and democracy in Liberia is being systematically undermined, and how grave a danger such action poses to our peace and security. Despite a peaceful democratic transition, President Boubacar seeks to rule as a tyrant. This we must all resist. Following my engagements, I shall return to Liberia to rally the CDC, along with all well-meaning Liberians, to resist this tyrannical attempt to trample upon our burgeoning democracy, using all political and legal means guaranteed to us under our Constitution. God bless Liberia. George Mann Weah, former President, Republic of Liberia, political leader, Congress of Democratic Change. So given what I told you from the onset, please listen to the last two lines. Unity Party will not turn George Weah. If they're looking for somebody to cause instability, it will come from their own inner cycle. It will come from under President Boubacar's feet. They will not, by their quote-unquote propaganda, turn George Weah into a gladiator or a predator. George Weah will never and can never, because that's not his character. George Weah, Simeon Fremont, Alexander Cummings, Musa Belete, Tiawan Gonglo, and all those opposition leaders have millions and trillions of options available to them to engage the government. Again, there is no instability, rioting, chaos, protests, and on have ever solved problem. They are not solutions in themselves. They are continuous chaos that leads to injury, deaths, and on and on. On the other side, dialogue has been and will always be the most sophisticated weapon or solution to solving any problem. In your house, pursue dialogue. Even when there are signs of looming crisis, pursue dialogue. In your community, in your organization, in your office. It doesn't work from the onset. It would look stupid from the onset. People would say all manner of things, that you're weak, you this and that, but pursue dialogue. Don't ever encourage chaos, and don't support anybody anywhere in your house, in your community, in your church, at your business center, in your office, to pursue chaos or to support it. Don't do that. Pursue dialogue and it will work. Yeah, the statement of former President Weah, everything is encapsulated in the statement. Everything that I told you about George Weah's character is encapsulated in the statement. Please listen to the two last paragraphs. He said, we have continued engagements. It's the same as dialogue, talking, making people to see reason with this about what is unfolding in Liberia. It doesn't require protest. It doesn't require chaos. See reason to dialogue it out so that our people continue to live in peace. Our people continue to go to work without headache. Churches continue to operate. Pastors can prepare their sermon without worrying. Mother can wake up in the morning with her market list to go to the market and shopping. Business people can get out and open their shops without worrying. Husband can go to work without worrying that something going to happen or protest will be around his house. That pregnant women can go to the hospital at will once the need arises for that. That's the atmosphere of engagement. That's what George Weah is saying. And that's what a responsible opposition leader is. Those who think that George Weah should be disgruntled. George Weah isn't disgruntled. George Weah has never been disgruntled. George Weah will never, ever be disgruntled. You call him all kinds of names, say all kinds of things. George Weah had always been dialoguing. He has always been engaging, and he will be that way. The person who had been disgruntled in opposition, supporting all of those acts, is the one who is in today. Listen carefully. We have continued engagements with several regional and continental leaders to again reiterate. Many we have been talking. I've been telling them. I've been speaking to them. I've been speaking to prime ministers, to regional bodies, to presidents, to other people about what is unfolding in Liberia, and telling them, you people have to listen and speak to President Boakai. Not that we can cause chaos in Liberia. We can, but what will it profit us? So I want you people to see reason to get involved. Now, tell me now, what do you expect? What more can you expect? Isn't this a refined opposition leader? Did you see this in the past? Was any engagement? President Boakai refused. Listen, the lady said it. The lady ECOWAS, United Nations, and other bodies urged the UP in opposition to stop the protest and engage in a dialogue. They said no. Even when the Capitol building in Boakai regime, as president, when the Capitol building issues came out about the removing of the speaker, ECOWAS came. What did President Boakai do? He said he was not listening to those people, and he did not listen. Those people left from here embarrassingly. President Boakai has a history of being unrefined. President Weah has a history of refinement, engaging. That's the difference between the two. We have continued engagements with several regional and continental leaders to again reiterate. Reiterate means to restate what you said first. You're saying it again. To reiterate and underscore. Underscore means how important, how grave, how serious it is. And underscore to them how the rule of law and democracy in Liberia is being systematically undermined, and how grave, G-R-A-V-E, how grave, meaning very, 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 very serious. How grave a danger such action poses to our peace and security. In essence, he's saying, no, we want our peace to be shattered. We don't want our security to be upside down. We don't want any one of those things to happen in Unity Party, in our government when Unity Party was in opposition. We want to keep this place peaceful. This is the only country we have. If people start running here and there, what will happen? All of us will be affected. All of us. But they were not looking at it yesterday. Despite a peaceful democratic transition, and they're turning over power. Despite a peaceful democratic transition, President Boakai seeks to rule as a tyrant. A tyrant is one person. Anything he says is final. But here's the typical meaning of a tyrant: a very wicked person. That's what a tyrant is. And the Bible gave us many tyrants. One of them, Nebuchadnezzar. Look at Nebuchadnezzar's reign and look at the Unity Party. That's it. That's it. So you can only survive in the Boakai administration when you bow to his political golden image by praising him. When you praise President Boakai, you worship him, then you are off. Mary brought praise him. Mary brought off the indictment. Bangura, Wilfred Bangura praised him. Wilfred Bangura off the Saudi rights indictment. All those people that came and praised. Finabono thought that she was trying to be clever. Say, my own people wanted me in jail because she was seeking ways to bow to UP golden image. But it didn't work as the way. And now, we just as I said yesterday on Real Talk, quoted Yeke. Yeke posted on his page that he has information. His intel told him that Finabono is being used by Thomas Fowler and the others to give information about the CDC, official CDC government. Why that, I may not want to believe that 100%, but it is a fact that every smoke in Liberia has some set of fire behind it or two. He said, despite a peaceful democratic transition, President Boakai seeks to rule as a tyrant. This we must all resist. Following my engagements, I shall return to Liberia. Please listen carefully. Some people took this out of context and say, George Weah-Kami cause protest. George Weah-Kami do this. George Weah-Kami cause instability. Please listen carefully. Following my engagements, I shall return to Liberia to rally the CDC. Following my engagements, I shall return to Liberia to rally the CDC, along with all well-meaning Liberians, to resist this tyrannical attempt to trample upon our burgeoning democracy, using, listen carefully, please. Those of you who are taking it out of context, the George Weah-Kami cause instability. Listen, using all political and legal means, stick it in your ears, your Unity Party people, using all political and legal means, guarantee to us under our constitution, Summarized in one word, dialogue. So you're going to see meetings of all the political leaders in Liberia. Is the statement timely? Yes. Then Sandra Johnson came out and made it clear. Sandra Johnson said the government wants to kill Joy Howard Taylor. And the reason he gave, he said Joy Howard Taylor is sick and actually she hasn't been well. And you see, she walks with a protector, that stuff in her hair. I don't know how to call it, to help her balance. To help her balance. She's not well. She's not well. But listen, all that they brought against her, she's going to go through it. She is a lawyer herself. And she has brilliant lawyers around her, thank God. And one thing I like about this opposition, they have brilliant lawyers. Look at Fonati when he was in that Senate. Look at the barrage of lawyers. Almost all of the seasoned lawyers in this country, they came. And you see them, they're getting around Joy Howard Taylor. Look at the government lawyers. Bunch of FICI. That other man that Boakai go put over there, Augustine Fire, say he's Solicitor General. You know how everything blown up, so much so the marginalizing. You can hear that Solicitor General Augustine Fire talking again. They may FICI, they may know nothing. You wonder how that man graduated from law school. FICI, Solicitor General, he know nothing. You can hear the man talking again. You're all playing your Capitol building there. No hair, no tail. Just keeping the children in jail for the longest, nothing. Boakai sitting down, he not get time. All he knows, he president. At least he achieved his goal. He president. So the guy say, yeah, sit down here, they'll use you. So United Party people are happy. They're happy. They issued statement yesterday. Should they be issuing statement? No, you leave it. What are you issuing statement for? When Johnny Dean and all those United Party people were arrested, United Party issued statement. They suddenly nothing happened. But because the opposition person, that Joy Howard Taylor, all of them happy. United Party people happy because of Joy Howard Taylor. And what happened to United? What happened yesterday at our airport? Listen, If anything that happened to that woman, United Party people are going to be happy. United Party people just want to hear their opposition person die. Their opposition person die. Then they'll be happy that all these people want a United Party people. Want to tell you, United Party, that devil's party, the people wicked. United Party people, they are very, 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 very wicked. You better be careful with the United Party people around. You put some that thing in your pocket and they say that draw, even when I draw, the police people will turn it around quick, they put you on trial, they send you to South Beach. You better be careful with your United Party people. Everywhere you get United Party friend, be careful. Everywhere in office or at the business center or in the yard, be careful with United Party people. Me want to see them hello. I can't call it from you, but just hello. Because you know that the people government, the people can lie on you anytime. All the security people will believe it before you can realize it. You in jail, they finish beating you by the way, they chunk you in South Beach. If the people can send their own man Prophet Key to jail, then you on the other side of the political divide, you better be careful with United Party people. That the era we in now, that Daniel 3:6. You read Daniel chapter 3 verse 6. Daniel chapter 3 verse 6 and Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 and verse 17. I see you. Let's see you. Y'all can take George Weah's statement out of context. That your business, your United Party people, your propaganda not working. So you're reacting another job. George Weah never say he coming to cause chaos. The statement is clear. He said political and legal guarantee unto us under our constitution. So that's it. I just thought to move with that as the singular topic we've got. You're listening to and watching Let's Talk About It on Kings 88.5 on this 20th day of August 2026 with me, Sam Andrews. Age boy we are seeing isn't feeling well, but not very serious. He might be in on tomorrow. Until then, 0776 36 40 45 0886 673 922 077 0777 980375. Before then, let's read few of your messages. Then we get to the line. Ward said, those people are just bad. They don't want to know about how Liberia looking, but only after party line. No wonder why JNB like that. Cecilia looking, she is a strong woman. She is going to make it. Pine S. Charles, T. Max Zakenberg, this is one of the most important parts in President Weah's message. Yes. Esther Gizi, most of our sedition government officials were vexed, bowed to us. That is why you are saying sedition standing up. All right. Who else? All right. Ambassador Walter. Oh no, I read your comment, Chief. I read your comment. All right, let's go. Maurice Zodua said, what happens to Joseph Boaka's son Jojo? Boaka and RG Koma, they have been called for investigation. That's it. All right. So let's go now. Let's take your call on the number 0777 980375 0886 304497 0772 2399 33. Hello. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fernando.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. This is our David Samuel. Make up for the way up to William Market. The job of the same as something that they don't they go down all the influential people to get them out of their way. They started with the legislature of Linda with the power big joke. Today, they are against on a global period. You see another one is of Baptist country. So all those influential people are the still that they will be a target against them. Now they are. But it's not so much about the past. Anybody who thinks that it is what is it's not about just. They are attacking that woman because they want to kill or break one country and run out to be after the people of one country. They see that what they are doing. So those people are to be attacked by this particular regime, both of the countries. Thank you very much for your show.
Thank you very much, Chief. Let's go to the women's line. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everything. You see, I see Joseph Walker. Joseph Walker, the minister or whosoever you suspended, you ever get on the court or you ever put in the swordfish? Then you catch this woman, you see her. She was with you, she just lost her son, she was tears in your eye. They invited her for a conference. So you don't wait for the woman to come out. You say, with the other level, then they go arrest the woman. Last night, that woman left to Central until late hours last night. Then they sitting down, please fall on the clock. You will pay for it. They not going to beg you. Just come and help us. That's not wrong. Joseph Walker and his son need to be arrested. The government need to be arrested. The vice president need to be arrested. They know some of the jobs. They just want to lie on that woman. But by the grace of God, she will be released for all of that just issue. And the disgrace will come out there. Their own style. It will be what people they're trying to catch. Thank you so much.
All right, madam. Have a nice day. Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Andrew.
Yes?
Thank you. My name is Luba Stanley, and I'm calling from Chicago Party this morning, a staff member of Concerned Advance for Justice. But Mr. Andrew, from what I saw yesterday, that means I believe the government should have been one of the favorite government according to them. But in my mind, they are behaving like gender with malicious in that in Uganda. What happened yesterday? The assassination of kidnapping and the police apply on my our period. You asked her not to travel, she agreed to come back to Monrovia. Coming back, she told her to go to the police. She told me, "Grandma, she inform my lawyer." How long will it take for you to escort her to her house and wait for her lawyer? But you see, it was so good yesterday. She had some officer with her that not have that kind of man that some of us. If I have her bodyguard yesterday, you see an officer and the government is aware of me. And what you did, almost like kidnapping and assassination, I was fire on them yesterday, and another problem because you don't operate that in your similar community, your similar war. Because you are talking about somebody you've been volunteering for months while you are not informed her as a state person. So you said what kind of comment? I don't think the state is charged not because of the $380 million work of cocaine. It's still the one that provided the police from Ross River to Magidi. She is the one that told us the cases of Toronto. No, because but cannot see all the issue of the job of the cocaine.
All right, Chief.
Just to subdue the opposition. Thank you.
Have a nice day. Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Andrews.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, let us now share the Nisa West team which are joining from Central Virginia. You know, Mr. Andrew, what the government try to achieve is unachievable on their part. They are wasting their time. The government should be cognizant of what is currently transpiring in Syria. That is the same trend they are now taking. When Bashar Assad was there as president, he was doing all sorts of things, persecuting people and doing whatever it is. Now he fled his country. He's being convicted of murder. The city should execute him. Even his family members are now being put on death row. That's the same trend these people right now taking. But also make it that the kind of charges that were crafted against Madam Taylor It's something that you don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that that woman can never be guilty of. They can never convict her of this kind of thing. Believe me, Tidisha, if our leader come back, let us just remain patient and listen to whatever he will say. Whatever way he points, that's where we should go. Let us start saying that he's not powerful, he's not this and that, and what have you. No. These people are shooting themselves in the leg. Let's observe them. Let's look at them. This difficult thing will be an own goal for the Unity Party. Thank you.
Have a nice day, Chief. Let's go to the women's line. Hello, madam.
Yeah. My bestie.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, money. That.
Morning.
What who very Unity Party. That they want to keep what we are down, yes, or cut a day. If party dance, we are not do nothing. All of them are in a party. They all who the poor Dajala. I don't forget what he said. All I want, they talking about Ball, they be out of car, we are not kids concerned, they move for God, you go Nigeria, the president that we are the one, and they will not get we are. They will not get a particular human being who make it up. They will not get him. And the way you open our eyes, every day. Open our door. They will looking for all they will not get we are. We are woman, the cup of our president that we are looking for. The people say that cancer, they bury their horses. Now, it's fucking land. That's inside. That is fucking land. And we pray. Then we are looking for the land we are. Go up and cut down. The one get go. What will protect you? And you also educate us. We pray. What will protect your blood? What are you? You see the thing that will go. You take that. That he don't want to worry about it. What did you say about River? But that's a good trouble. What did you say?
All right, madam.
We are here.
All right.
Thank you.
The Emmanuel Gongwe, the economic freedom fighter, head a political party with just 0% number. He said if George Weah came in mobilizing citizens, they were mobilized to resist. That would be okay. But if that was your want, your Unity Party people, it will not happen. If that was your want, you think that George Weah coming mobilize people to get on the street, your Unity Party should be dead dreaming. You should be dead dreaming. If that was you're wishing for, if that was your want, CDC can do it. It would take CDC nothing, it would take George Weah nothing. But why would it prevent George Weah? The man said there's going to be a political and legal dialogue as guaranteed to them under the Constitution. Then you people who claim that George Weah is not educated, you can reason. But you come on. If you want protest, you want cause chaos for your own Joseph Boakai, you can go. Already, he's already of age that you are Joseph Boakai. People will see you, you will do your own thing. You will not see CDC on the street. Is that one you're waiting for to do counter protest? That your counter protest will not work. The man already told you in a statement, the statement clear. You said you are in no boat. You're who the educated people now, you can reason. The man said dialogue. They will engage. They will use all political and legal options available to them. Then he said, you are coming mobilized, you will resist that. You said the man are educated. You're the man speak, then you're taking out of context. Because I think I work no day. Hello. You went on, Chief. Let's go to the women's side. Hello.
Yeah. Fine, Andrew.
Yeah, fine. Let's hear you, madam.
Money is money. According to this, before. I want to tell Mr. Boakai, the president. But he now because he's ruling, so the rebel government when he has, where 80 people, he think that good way to live. But God is looking at him, and God said we should keep because he doing it well. And God doing it well. How wickedness in your mind is doing it. Today, that's where our thing Yeah, I he said, I'm not doing something for you know what they are referring to me. So there is one looking for one. Because we now want to have being you. And I'm telling you, so President Walker, stop the weekend night. You have to for you take in your house and we are telling you the papa say and they flew you for here, they carry you letting you. Not that Walker, the weekend night that you do, boy, getting ready for you, you will your own head now I tell you they are going to you. Stop doing. Treat our people daughter.
All right, madam.
All right.
Hello, men's line.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
Is that you? Why it is true that President Weah is a peaceful man. But enough is enough. Millions of Liberians have been hopeless because of Joseph Boakai leadership in our country. So the millions of Liberians who depend on President Weah as a beacon of hope for us Liberians who are hopeless. It is time now that we call on President Weah for him to rally up the people so that we can tell Joseph Boakai the kind of language he loves to listen to.
How should George Weah rally you?
Very good. Weah is the leader, right? One snap of Weah's finger can make Howard Taylor does not go to jail. Just by snapping his finger.
But do you need George Weah? Do you need George Weah to say that as a supporter, as
Yes,
someone who is uncomfortable with what is happening? Do you need George Weah's voice before you can act?
Yes. I say yes because if we are with leader, if he doesn't lead us, we have no moral to lead ourselves. We have no moral. The morale of we are coming to us with his voices, with his voice to the voices of those Liberians who that voices cannot be heard.
So let me ask you again. Is it George Weah that tells you or rally you to call every day talking about the excesses of the government? Is it George Weah?
It is not George, but
it is the same thing. That you are citizen of the country. You people are citizens. There's something called citizens action. You don't need the leader. The leader only gives that boost when he or she finds it necessary. But you are in the position you can move out. You can rally people the same way. You can rally other supporters, and you're moving.
Listen, Mr. Andrews, George Weah is a political leader of our party.
So if George Weah doesn't say anything, you are not. If he doesn't rally, you are not.
If I know he want to go
but it is not about you alone. You have the ability to rally other people. If you want George Weah to rally you, you are saying that George Weah has the ability to rally. Equally, you have listen, Chief. No, listen, that's lazy argument there. Hello. Yeah. If George Weah can, you're feeling the pinch. You're feeling the pinch. It's hurting you. That's why you take your telephone, you call every day. So if George Weah not doing it, you can do it. One person can protest, two persons can protest, three persons can protest. Yeah. You don't have to say George Weah has spoken, so we're moving. If George Weah can, you do, because you are being affected. Your family is being affected. Everybody is being affected. The ones that you can rally, you rally them. Hello.
Hello. This is Stewart Rubin from Canada, as I said previously. And when I listened to Madam Sadi one time on the EFPC radio, he said, one of the things he said, and I agree with her, he said, to solve the blood problem, President can be brave. If they didn't be brave, the blood problem, so, and I really agree with her now. So I see President from our President, Joseph Boakai. Yeah, it will have power President that will be brave to not be compromising people. That will go far. Yeah, so I really agree with Madam Sadi. He can be brave to solve the blood problem. So I see it. People don't understand now, but the next government will come. If it's kind of the same, people will be afraid to come back as an official in government. People don't understand right now. We don't have a trouble doing it. Now we come back to the same thing. So I see somebody who is president with our who are kidding you. for killing somebody. So I appreciate it. The leadership of the country, and it's weird now. So now, I want to say right now, brother.
All right, Chief.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Women's line, then we'll go to the other men's line. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yep.
I'm the concerned librarian for justice. Yeah, St. Andrew.
Yep.
People are looking for CDC in their drug business. What they did was wrong for them to arrest a woman on the street. At least they should have sent her prior notice. She was going to walk and go to the office there. But the guys want disgrace CDC, BP people, so we can be downhearted about it now. We can't be downhearted because we know that woman is innocent. They're looking for people for to her in their drug business. They are cooking what they bring. They're looking for people for, but we're not happy. All I think they do not president, we are looking for, but they did it. Their president, we are. I did like bro, we shake the whole world over like bro. We just looking at them. Nothing they will not do to that woman. That woman will release her. Because I know she's innocent of all the mean people. Then why they in the cooking business? They won't call them me. What they say? The police director say they not catch it. People are carry go. They're looking for those who smell it. They catch a point. Carry go. They're joking because he's one of those persons that carry go. So when he brings her to justice, then we know that they really see what to fight for, but they don't want to begin it done. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you too for calling. Have a nice day, madam. Men's line on this end. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for sitting in for Israel. That is the problem that we are having as citizens and supporter of the party. Whenever something is happening, we will want to allow other people, because this is why most of the supporting media institutions are saying, and this is a strategy to finally get our president winner. But those of us who are citizens supporter of the president, we sort of sit down and critically analyze what they are saying. Because if you tell me the only way the opposition can be forceful is for you to rally people to get on the street, then that means I don't think you will see President we are there. But what can you do as a citizen? Yesterday, the news broke up. All of us are having smartphone. We are having friends. Before even I could get on the internet, my friend from Iran, Congo, called me and told me what was happening. So what we needed to do, and we are in group that call Concerned Librarian for Justice, we needed to rally ourselves and move to the police station and stood for her. Even up to this morning now, should be sent to at the court this morning. What are the citizens of Bonkate saying? What are we saying as citizens? We cannot go there and forcefully remove her, but by us gathering in our number to stay with her, we suggest to the world that yes, we are standing with our former vice president. There is immune treatment against her. We hate it, but we're sitting. Waiting for somebody to rally you. No, do your own thing. You can stand up. The city we told them, yeah, you have your representative in your parent district. They were being harassed and indicted by the government. You stop in your district. Everybody, the guys that gathered themselves in the hotel, they drove in the comfort and go to their capital building to continue the national line. Your parent representative in your parent district, people start down. They're supposed to rally there. How that is possible? Have you ever seen anybody in the Western world rally political parties standing up to rally people to go up? I thought it can happen, and that time is coming. This is why what you wrote, you may not understand the rally. The rally will be calling on you to come up. The rally will be the political intervention, the legal intervention. So you should watch and see. Don't follow what people are saying, because these are the things that will start playing up on you now. Then at the end analysis, you will make the wrong decision. When you make the wrong decision on 2029, they start to chase you. So follow your own. This is why I disengaged all media this morning. I want to follow King and Freedom so that I can really get a fresh hand on what is happening, because that indictment is still embedded. It's not open yet. What I just minister was reading yesterday, there is no understanding there yet. I want to get a clear understanding of what that justice minister was reading yesterday before I can start to make my move. So I saw this morning. That is how I can do my thing. Thank you.
Thank you too, Mr. Carr. Nice one. Very insightful. Have a nice day. The leadership of the Congress for Democratic Change, the Executive Committee of the Congress for Democratic Change, or the leadership of the leading opposition Congress for Democratic Change is meeting. They have called an emergency meeting today at 2 p.m. Emergency meeting at 2 p.m. Beyond that emergency meeting, there will be an emergency meeting of all the opposition political leaders and political parties. Again, just know that the leadership of the Congress for Democratic Change has called an emergency meeting for 2 o'clock by mandate of the National Executive Committee of the Congress for Democratic Change. All members of the National Executive Committee, stakeholders, the leadership of Montserrado County, the National Coordinator Council, the Revolutionary National Youth League, the Women's League, the National Auxiliary Network, the Zonal Council, current and past lawmakers, and the entire general leadership of various structures of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change are hereby mandated for an emergency meeting on August 20 at 2 p.m. at the CDC temporary headquarters in Satan Sinker. Again, please be on time at 2 p.m. at CDC's temporary headquarters in Satan Sinker for this all-important meeting. So it will be at 2 o'clock, and then after that, there will be an emergency meeting of all political parties. Already discussions are taking place, and many people think that George Weah has disconnected himself. They have said all kinds of stuff. They're entitled to their opinion, but George Weah has never disconnected himself. He has always been involved, fully engaged with all of the issues that are unfolding in Liberia. George Weah is the leader. He has leadership in place. He's not the only person, just as President Boubacar is the leader, and he has people in place who he is connected with. They are working together. George Weah has people in place. They are together. They are working together. So if George Weah is out of the country, it doesn't say that he has disconnected himself. He's engaged. He's aware. He's involved with everything. And like Eugene Nangwe said, George Weah will not just be speaking all over the place anyway, anyhow. He speaks when they find it necessary, how, where, and when. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you. Your name, where you call from, Chief?
Yes, this is Daniel Sagi. Mr. Andrews, if you want to be a politician, you must be a politician. I listen to you telling the caller, say, one person can rally, one person can protest in Nigeria, one person can meet. No, especially as it relates to the current political situation we have.
No, that is not true. That is not true. You have not seen it around the world and even in Liberia. One person can protest. Protest simply means expressing your grievance.
What have become of some of those protests?
It is not what came out. It is the reality. No, speak to the reality. You say it has never happened in Liberia. It happened in Liberia. You saw in Ellen's government. Ellen's government, you have one. You had two persons standing before Ellen's office with the placard, and listen, Chief. They got the government's attention. They got Ellen's attention. They got global attention. Protest simply means you come out and you express yourself. It can be by words. It can be by placard. It can be by just anything available to you, not infringing on anybody's right. It's not what come out of it. It's what you present. That's what a protest is. If George Weah came back to Liberia and George Weah say, let's get out, and George Weah and the rest of the people will present their protest, they will go fighting Boubacar. Is that how you understand protest?
That's not what I was telling you.
But what are you trying to say?
No, that's not what I was telling you, Andrews. That's not what I was saying. Protest, political protest, we all know. Political protest.
So what are you saying? What are you saying simply? The other person wants to come on. What are you saying?
Yes, what I'm saying If George I want to be politician, let him be politician. If he want to be pastor or peace icon, let him to the United Nations and go work.
Okay.
But
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, George, I forget about your protest. Hello. Joe, we have forget about you can do it on your own. Hello.
Good morning, Mr.
Yeah.
Semadu.
Yeah.
I'm Peter David Castle, Governor on the street like in Lower Johnsonville, an outstanding member of the Concerned Bureau for Justice. And Mr. Sam Andrew, let me firstly extend my
So
thanks and
hold
appreciation
on, Chief. Hold on your camera. Let me say this thing. If anybody think that they want to use George Weah as scapegoat, some of you seditionists are expressing that. If you think that George Weah should tell you to go up before you go up, and if George Weah ain't say you can go, that your business, you continue, and you can call on the radio, your talk, and you're protesting. You know that protest, they want you doing that protest. The government officials listening to it. Everybody listening. That protest, whether you're expressing yourself. So if you want George Weah to come and say, let's get in the street and get, some of you people, you only use radio. We know that thing. We know that whole scam. When they call protests here, many protests will call here. Some of you ain't go nowhere. You just wait when the show come on and say, oh, we're on the protest ground. We're doing it. You ain't know that we can be around all those things there. So you're leader there. You're waiting for George Weah to call protest before you go. Then you'll be sitting down. George Weah ain't coming to take anybody's child or children or husband or what in the street. If you want protest, you can protest. You get your right. The Constitution provides that. You will not use George Weah as a scapegoat or your protective gladiator. Thank you. Let's go, my chief.
Yeah, let me firstly appreciate the incoming president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Sanu Weah, for that excellent communication. I think it speaks volume. And this particular government needs to be checkmated. And I must also say that what unfolded yesterday was a gross violation of the constitutional and the human rights of the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia. No, under our law, no police officer has the right to stop any Liberian citizen from leaving the country. The only governmental institution that clock with that particular constitutional authority is the Supreme Court of Liberia. And they have to issue what we call a new ex-republic. That was an issue to the former president. She was arbitrated and arrested and illegally being detained. You see, these are the attributes of a dictatorial regime and of people that came into power with a weak man. Saying the particular drug issue and existed, we are called upon the police director to resign because he is implicated. The son of Joseph Yuma Boakai, Jojo Boakai, is also implicated. We also have the foreign affairs minister and a Sarah Benso Yanti. She is also implicated. All these guys have now been invited. Yesterday, they want the fee that they can use and Madam Drea Howard Taylor as a scapegoat. They are lying. Liberia now is an educated society. We know their tactics is politically motivated, and that's the reality. And just like
all right, Chief,
we need to do the needful for the Liberian people. Jojo Boakai should be arrested.
Thank you, sir.
Prime suspect and the foreign affairs minister.
Thank you. Let's go to the women's line.
The drug cartel. They are the one that bring in the drugs.
Thank you, Chief. Hello. Hello, madam.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
That man say, the poor who say we have a camp, get it and protest the botella. The hospital break it down, now about breaking it down. The poor near Bagana, they want break it down. But say looking for leader to come outside. You want to say now, it's not affecting we are. Now we don't want we are starting. Nothing affecting the whole family. You do it for us. So when you're working for them, you have a go protest. You have a say now, go protest. You can go. You have to protest. The decision. Yes, sir. We get the money. I put in the poor call. What get one put our water together. We waiting for Leo. We are not coming. Thank you.
All right, Madam, say have a nice day. Just so you know and get this one, the United States government just released their statement. It said the U.S. government has confirmed this. It came from the U.S. Embassy in Liberia. The U.S. government has confirmed through its embassy in Monrovia that it has personnel on the ground and it is involved in the drug case. It is involved in the drug case. That means they are involved with the investigation. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Andrew.
Good morning.
I'm Abraham Dean, Ghana from Lioness here. Yeah, in the Liberian people think that the government are doing the right thing. They will not have to wait for Joria to speak out for it. Because even they wait for Joria to speak out, the United Party government where they are arrogant, they will send out people there and more to say, oh, that Joria bring chaos. And then we know, even waiting on for ourselves, anyway, our president coming from going for him, they can send people and more to go to Ra to say, oh, that the citizen. So if you know you are citizen, you want for justice to be done in this country, you will not wait for Joria to speak, so you go protest for it before you go protest. It's a right to go and protest. And for the issue, the United Party government, let them know that the book of Proverbs is for 13. So when they continue hiding a sin, and they are not doing justice, and then they are accusing people for what they are not knowable, or will always flog me, or will always soak me. Our quest will be on it until they leave power, and nothing will achieve until they leave power. Thank you, God bless you.
Right. Hello.
Good morning, Sir Andrew.
Morning.
And good morning to our many listeners that are following the show. And morning to our official of CDC. I'm Joseph. I'm calling from Japan Freeway Drive. And I want to remind the Liberian people, a political welfare, as you are all saying, is not a playground. And I want to acknowledge the Liberian audition about in Eastern and South Africa when Nelson Mandela was a National Congress ANC leader. Mandela was caught by P. Botha, the government, he was placed behind bars. But the South Africans, the ANC, did not sit back in the absence of Mandela. They were always on the rampage, quarreling, fighting, declaring to the world and the South African that we should rally around, then make sure that South Africa.
So what is the message? What is the message you're sending across? That radio, you have to go straight to the point.
So I'm going straight to the point. The point here is Liberia, as you just said, Liberia should not sit and wait for Korea. No. We should wake up now. We should wake up now against this dictatorial government. We should wake up, we should rise up against this government. Because the government have tested and they are getting their way through. So I want to conclude, we should not wait on George Weah, whatever he is. We should stand up for our right. We should stand up for our right. Thank you this morning for a 40-minute platform.
Thank you too. Have a nice day. Women's line. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm looking for the thing that they're looking for, they will not get it for him. And we are not somebody to start a conduct, protest, and put people on the street. Not many position I get in Liberia, position I get in America, the international community, the whole war, they know they got to tap up the economy. That made a big from peace to peace, but running after. He will talk to the people. He said, we get more opposition here. They want country to not go wrong, to be president, to be opposition. Tell the people on the street, they know we are. Yeah, for him, if there is respect the law, he don't do it. So after the only position, should not do it. Like you, no, the country is expecting you. If you shouldn't know the country is expecting you, you're not benefiting for all your who is in the country. You cry, you fear every day, in the country. You get an imposter. You are being careful. You pay your plug and go to the embassy. All the ambassadors in Nigeria, your problem from place to place. Your problem, they are complete. Why not? We are and every time we are not somebody to get from your protest. Thank you.
All right,
thank you, brother.
All right. Have a nice day. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, you are on. Let's hear you quick. So we'll go.
Yeah.
Where you are, your line is not clear, my man. Where you are? in the midst of people.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Edward Snow. And I want to thank you this morning for the show. Yeah, you know, after I heard this issue, I was like, down breaking, but after the statement made by the former president, I listened to it. It really awakened my spirit. To be honest, because what the guys are doing, that's something that, you know, is really getting some more concern. Yeah. So I statement by the former president, I like it, and we used to see the outcome. And we just waiting, you know, on the time we get for the ground on our feet. So thank you this morning.
Thank you too for calling, Chief. Have a nice day. Hello?
Mr. Andrew.
Yeah.
Mr. Andrew, this is the common post chairman. My name is P.O.P. Willie. I represent Concerned Librarian for Justice. You know, Mr. Andrew, this fight shouldn't be a hypocritical fight. The fight should be holistic. Like, you know, I really enjoy that caller that said, leader of brave president that will take on a cartel to do it. It's a brave fight. Yeah, I agree with him. But then the brave fight should not have a separate count. If this president is brave indeed, it's so indicated. It's so new, he say, who explanation, he said, and if it's called that the Colombian call, he said, if they say he called the NSA, I show you for investigation. Why is it as of yet he's not being investigated? The perfect picture is with the Colombian. They're showing that video, and that video authenticated by the president's phone, by the EPS boss saying gay. So why is it that you want to fight and then you're not even recusing yourself because the Colombian accused you directly, you and your son, they said doing business with you, and they're not doing business for the last 8 years. They said their middleman is Ibrahim Traore, and your son agreed to middleman Ibrahim Traore, and two of them flew on plane to see, to discuss or invest on behalf of the government. And then all of that is going on. If there is a president that have come to fight this cartel, it should be holistic. Justice, injustice anywhere is obvious to justice everywhere. You can't come to fight, you can't come with evidence, you come with dead hands, your hands should be clean. You yourself, you are being implicated by that video, your son are being implicated by the video, your son is alleged, you are lying to flee the country, a flat rate of justice, you say you're there, your work need consumer at the airport because it is alleged that consumer recommended that man on fire for the airport. That deputy director of operation. That is also an implication. How she going to know him? What is it that she know about him? She need a exposure too.
All right, Chief.
The fight should be holistic. Thank you. Not impartial. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. There, you did extremely well. So, yeah, Chief, we don't have time again. That's all the time we've got to be on the show. So, you're entitled to your opinion as you are entitled to your action. The Constitution provides for that. The Constitution gives you that right, that you have it to assemble, to speak out, to present your petition. You can do it. This thing, as much as you have the political leader, but it should not be entirely on the political leader. If the political leader can, you can. But you are being affected. We agree that the political leader is the leader, is the one who leads, the one who directs, who supervises, the one who forecasts the future for the institution, the people. But it doesn't negate the fact that you cannot take individual action. I'm not dismissing your concerns that President Weah should rally you. You are entitled to it. But I'm telling you the other side of it. You can take personal initiative. You can take action on your own. You can rally others. You can protest. And protest takes different forms. Most of you, your calling on the show is a protest. You're expressing your views. That is a petition you are sending across. You are expressing yourself. you are telling the rest of the people your dislike, you're expressing your grievance about or against the government. You are protesting. That's one. You can also take to the street or the place that you think it is necessary to assemble and then present your claims to the government as the Constitution provides. When the political party or the political leader finds it convenient to do, they will draw out a roadmap. They will draw out a plan. And that could be peaceful sit-in or request a meeting with the government. That could be one of several options. George Weah said in the statement that he has continued to engage, that he was reiterating, which means restating his position that he has always stated about the misrule under President Boakai, the excesses, widespread corruption, rule of law, and on, to international partners, to governments, to countries, and that he will be returning to Liberia after his engagement. And then he will rally CDC along with well-meaning Liberians. What more that is not convincing in there to whet your raging appetite for protest? Or you want to hear in the statement or George Weah in a podcast, a call on all seditious to get out? That what you want to hear? People have to drop this narrow-minded understanding of protest. Protests have several options. Several. And you have to understand, if you don't know your leader, then who you know? In the House, you experience protests. Hundreds of protests took place this morning in various houses, either from the son or the daughter, the mother or the father. Protest. Even in the office as we speak, hundreds of protests have taken place. Either the boss will disagree with this, the boss will do this, they do that to get his grievances working or something, or the deputy. Protest takes different forms. People protest everywhere. You seditionists should also know the party announced an emergency meeting for today at 2 o'clock. Can the party do without the approval of George Weah? So you should know that George Weah, as the political leader, approved that meeting. They consulted him. On top of it, George Weah said that I'm returning to Liberia after my engagement, and I will rally CDC and other well-meaning Liberians on the way forward. And then I should add, given what we've heard, after that meeting, there is going to be a meeting of all opposition political parties and political leaders. Amen. So what more now? Especially you seditionists that are uncomfortable too. You people are the ones that quit to get jitter, and you allow Unity Party people to play on your anger, your vexation. You just want George Weah tell what to do. They will no, man. If the other person was killing yesterday, does that mean you should kill too? If the other person killed yesterday in opposition, there are all kinds of things. Today, your mentor is different. Everybody don't have the same approach. Everybody don't go with the same methodology. That's why President Boakai goes to bed sound, he wakes up sound, he sleeps sound, he eats comfortably, he sleeps, he may be more all over the place speaking parable. Because the opposition has allowed the atmosphere to be peaceful, non-chaotic, stable, and on and on. You think the opposition can make this place uncomfortable for Bouaga, just as he supported yesterday? But it doesn't say because they caused chaos yesterday. So George Weah and CDC should cause chaos today. Their approach yesterday is not the same as CDC approach today. CDC has different approach, and it is working. When the time comes, George Weah will know what to do. Didn't George Weah use the word rally? Now the word rally is not an insinuation or it's not pointing to protest. Rally means everybody will come together and we dialogue. This thing that happening in the country on a Bouaga. How you see it? Meaning getting everybody idea. Just like you say, the boss can say, Sam or Israel, rally the rest of the guys. Let's meet at XYZ time. Meaning pour all of them together. Let's meet as people, and then we can put our different ideas on the table and arrive at a solution. Is that a protest? No. So because United Party people misinterpreting the man statement too and saying that they will meet your George Weah protest will be met with counter protest. Some of you seditionists too now believing. You're giving in to them. You're getting scared. Say George Weah, I'm gonna do this, George Weah. No, everybody different, chief. George Weah has never been. Look at George Weah. If you want George Weah in opposition, yeah, when George Weah in opposition, you used to see George Weah supporting all of those things. Yeah, at the time CDC did not come to power. CDC are in opposition. You used to see George Weah supporting those things, and George Weah used to be talking to them to calm down. We can explain some things to you when CDC was in opposition. How George Weah was behaving. Some of you are saying those things, you're going to say, oh, but George Weah is a weak man. You're going to say in your own opposition, you're going to say George Weah used to tell people, ask Akara Gray, ask Jefferson Koji, ask the very Moba Molu. I'm telling you, this is Sam Andrews that saying it. George Weah used to tell you, man, along the way, certain time, say, gentlemen, you'll stop, you'll calm down. We'll dialogue it. Let's speak to Madam President. We'll call a meeting. Why do God Jefferson Koji then Moba Molu Akara's girl very forceful? A certain day, we used to speak to them. So in America, you take telephone, you call Gray, we call Jefferson, say you'll come down. You'll come down. I know that XYZ, but we'll handle it this way. Let's take our time. You used to see George Weah encouraging all kinds of things in the party when they were in opposition, just as Bouaga encouraged. George Weah right there. He knows how to do his thing. He can wait for his soup to get cold before he drinks it. George Weah became president. You used to see George Weah doing all kinds of things. The things that those people were doing, if George Weah was that kind of people, or person, you're going to have plenty Unity Party people in jail. Plenty for long term. But yeah, look what happened. That former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott, and she got convicted. What happened? Did he interfere? No. But when Bouaga came, Bouaga said that thing that George Weah did a mess. And Gloria Scott can't also. That would say, if we're careful, listen. When people talking these things, they can say, oh, you wishful thinker, all kind of thing. Come on. Nigeria, right? Yeah. Nigeria had peace. But Nigeria were repeating the same thing. When other person do this, they will kind of undo it. Nigeria went back to war. I can name you 5-6 countries in the war. Who told you that Liberia can go back to war? You think God's stupid? God is not stupid. Not because he is compassionate God, so when you are stupid and God in heaven will buy in your stupidity. The same thing that brings you out of war, when you are doing the same thing, God does not come in and you will have to go back and experience it. Even in the very Bible, it's there. So when we see these signs, when we're talking, oh, you want war in the country will never go back to war. The country never. Come on, drop that stupidity of a mentor. The person come, Bouaga come to power. Bouaga say, look, Gloria Scott can't also, that thing that George Weah did, that stupid, can't also. We get the power now. The next government that will come to power, you think what they will do? They will go from office to office. They will put people in jail. all kinds of things will happen. At the end of the day, the whole place will be chaotic. The whole place will be chaotic. And what you have, that war right there, you think war only mean guns? Right now, the country is in a war. The country is in war. War does not only mean gun. Where the gun come from? The gun come from the mind, the idea, the mind. Yeah, where Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did not have gun prior to becoming president, but she used her mind to get guns. Liberia already in war. What you have guns in the country. The government got guns, but there is instability in its country. There is chasing after political opponent. There is incarceration, meaning drilling. There is hardship in the country. Liberia has become a dump ground for people of different countries. All that one, you ain't seen it. There are people not talking. Liberia, that dump site. Yeah, they brought 1,200 coming. I think they said tomorrow, the first 20. Those people are not Liberians. They're coming from different countries. Because your government want money. So they're using your country as a dump site. Now you know what's going to happen? You ain't concerned about this one too. At the end of the day, you don't even have the facility. But you're taking in 1,200 persons from different countries because you want more. You want Washington to protect you. You want Washington to talk to people to get you money. So you're dumping. They're dumping their trash. They're dumping their garbage on Liberia. They're not war in itself. You be mingling with different people, different attitudes, different all kinds of stuff. You know what's going to happen? That's why other countries are afraid. They don't accept people. We already in war. It don't have to be gun shooting all over. No, you're already in a war atmosphere. Is that because you move here, right? You're in a war. The country is tense. You can't speak freely outside. People are very skeptical now of each other because they know who is who. United Party people taking information, setting people up. That's why I say you have, be careful where you speak. Know where you are, where you speak, what you say, who you are speaking with. Because United Party people are setting people up. Once they know that you are from the other side, you have to shut your mouth when you're in their midst. Liberia right now is the government of the unholy trinity. If you know what that means in the Bible, the government of the unholy trinity, you know what that means. If you don't know, well, go and read it. Liberia right now is the atmosphere of Daniel chapter 3, verse 6. Read Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3, verse 6. Liberia right now is the atmosphere of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17. Daniel 3:6, they say, if you bow down to worship the golden image, you are done. If you bow down to worship President Bouakai golden image, you are done. If you bow down, you worship, meaning you don't see the image. You don't see the image, but you accept to bow down to the power that be, live at the whims and caprice, then you will survive. We have seen it with pretty close to 10-15% since Bouakai came to power. Plenty of people. Now the rest of the people that praising him, they have control in his power. They have bowed down. They have taken the mark. They are worshiping the golden image to survive. The reason for that is survival. Look at Daniel chapter 3, verse 6. After Nebuchadnezzar set up the political kingdom, and that was not religious. It was political, but it said they used the word worship. Worship is relative. Worship is not exclusively religious or spiritual. It's relative. It's a relative word, meaning placing a allegiance in a person, a deity. So he said, if anyone in bow, the only persons that did not bow were the three Hebrew brothers. It was not religious, it was political. That's the atmosphere. Bow down to the golden image of Unity Party, you survive. If not, charge is brought against you, accusation, you're in jail. Look at Revelation chapter 13, 16 and 17, what it says. If you don't take the mark, you will not be able to buy, sell, just survive. Nothing. What do you see today? People are taking the mark to survive. People praising Unity Party, Not because they really love Unity Party, because they want to survive. They have taken the mark so that they will survive. If not, they will be stifled. Radio stations, praise. Online newspaper, praise. Politicians, praise. Civil society, other people, praise. Radio stations, praise. That is the mark there of the beast, so that they survive. That's the atmosphere we're in right now. And that's a war in itself, because it is a warfare. Warfare means you have to strive to survive. And anything that can keep you surviving, you hold on to it. Thank you. So that's it for today. For Let's Talk About It. Israel isn't well. He couldn't be in. Hopefully, he will be in tomorrow. Not the illness, not too serious. He will be in tomorrow. Please join us this afternoon at 3 for Real Talk. We're back this afternoon, having sat in for Israel at 3 this afternoon. We are back with Real Talk. Thanks for the support. We appreciate it. And this is how we go home to get ready for this afternoon.
Hey, hey, hey.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5.